Section 1, Trump goes nuclear, no more IRS. Hold on to your hats, America, because Trump just dropped a bombshell. In a move that has left both his supporters and critics in shock, Trump has announced his plan to completely abolish the IRS. Yes, you heard that right. The taxman, the one entity that has been a constant in American lives for over a century, is getting the boot if Trump has his way. He wants to abolish the IRS, that's right, the taxman is getting the boot. Imagine a world where you no longer have to deal with complicated tax forms, endless audits, and the looming fear of making a mistake on your tax return. Trump believes that by getting rid of the IRS, he can simplify the lives of millions of Americans. Trump says America needs a fresh start, a simpler way to pay for things. He envisions a system where the average American doesn't have to spend hours or even days trying to figure out their taxes. Instead, he wants to introduce a new way of generating revenue for the country. No more complicated forms, no more audits, hopefully. The idea is to make the process as straightforward as possible. No more piles of paperwork, no more stress-induced headaches, and no more fear of the IRS knocking on your door. It's a vision of simplicity and efficiency. Instead of income tax, Trump wants to slap tariffs on foreign goods. This means that instead of taxing your hard-earned income, the government would generate revenue by taxing products that are imported into the country. It's a shift from taxing individuals to taxing goods, and it's a move that Trump believes will benefit the American economy. It's a bold move, some might even say reckless. Critics argue that this could lead to higher prices for consumers and potential trade wars with other countries. Supporters, on the other hand, believe it could boost American manufacturing and create jobs. The debate is fierce, and opinions are divided. But Trump's never been one to shy away from a fight, especially when it comes to shaking things up. He's built his career on making bold, sometimes controversial decisions, and this is no different. Whether you love him or hate him, you can't deny that Trump knows how to make headlines. He's even creating a brand new agency, the IRS or External Revenue Service, to collect all that sweet tariff money. This new agency would be responsible for managing and collecting tariffs, ensuring that the government still has a steady stream of revenue. It's a complete overhaul of the current system, and it's a move that has everyone talking. It's like the IRS's cooler, more internationally minded cousin. The IRS would not only focus on tariffs but also work on international trade policies, making sure that America gets the best deals possible. It's a modern approach to an age-old problem, and it's one that Trump believes will set America on a new path. Will it work? Who knows? The future is uncertain, and only time will tell if this radical change will be successful. There are many questions and concerns, and the road ahead is anything but clear. But one thing is for sure, this is a move that will be remembered for years to come. But one thing's for sure, things are about to get interesting. Whether this plan succeeds or fails, it will undoubtedly have a significant impact on the country. So, buckle up, America, because we're in for a wild ride. Section 2. Back to the Future Tariffs instead of taxes. Believe it or not, America used to run on tariffs before income tax came along in 1913. For over a century, tariffs were the primary source of federal revenue. They were seen as a way to protect burgeoning American industries from foreign competition and to ensure that the government had the funds it needed to operate. Back then, we slapped taxes on imported goods to protect American businesses and raise some cash for the government. This system helped to build the American economy, fostering a sense of self-reliance and industrial growth. It was a time when the nation was still finding its footing, and tariffs played a crucial role in that development. It was a simpler time, but also a time of horse-drawn carriages and questionable hygiene. The world was much less connected, and international trade was not as critical to daily life as it is today. People relied more on local goods and services, and the economy was more insular. The question is, can tariffs really cut it in the 21st century? In today's interconnected world, the dynamics have changed drastically. Modern economies are deeply intertwined, and the flow of goods, services, and capital across borders is essential for growth and stability. We live in a globalized world now, where goods flow freely across borders. Supply chains span multiple countries, and products are often assembled from components made in various parts of the world. This complexity means that tariffs can have far-reaching and sometimes unintended consequences. Slapping tariffs on everything could disrupt global trade and send prices soaring. Consumers might face higher costs for everyday items, and businesses could struggle with increased expenses for raw materials and components. The ripple effects could be felt throughout the economy, leading to inflation and reduced purchasing power. Trump's gamble is that tariffs will protect American jobs and force other countries to play by his rules. He believes that by imposing tariffs, he can level the playing field and bring manufacturing jobs back to the United States. This approach is rooted in the idea of economic nationalism, prioritizing domestic industries over global cooperation. But critics say it's a recipe for economic disaster. They argue that tariffs can lead to trade wars, where countries retaliate with their own tariffs, creating a vicious cycle of rising costs and reduced trade. This could harm not only the US economy, but also the global economy, leading to uncertainty and instability in markets worldwide. Section 3. The Fair Tax Act. Sales tax to the rescue. Enter the Fair Tax Act of 2025. This bad boy, cooked up by some folks in Congress, wants to replace all federal taxes with a national sales tax. That means no more income tax, no more payroll tax, just a simple sales tax on everything you buy. Sounds great in theory, right? Except, critics say it'll hit the poor and middle class the hardest. Why? Because they spend a larger chunk of their income on essential goods and services. The wealthy, on the other hand, can afford to sock away their money in savings and investments, avoiding the sales tax altogether. So much for fairness, right? Section 4. The upside. Simpler taxes, more money in your pocket. Okay, let's give credit where credit's due. Trump's plan does have some potential upsides. First off, simpler taxes. Imagine a world where the tax code isn't a labyrinth of confusing forms and obscure deductions. Instead, it's straightforward and easy to understand. No more wrestling with those infernal 1040 forms. Picture this. No more late nights stressing over tax documents. No more hiring expensive accountants to navigate the maze for you. Just a simple, clear process that anyone can follow. Imagine a world where filing your taxes is as easy as ordering a pizza. You could do it from your phone in just a few minutes without breaking a sweat. This simplicity could save you time and reduce the stress that often comes with tax season. Second, more money in your pocket. With a simplified tax system, you might find yourself with more disposable income. No more hidden fees or unexpected deductions, just straightforward savings. With no income tax, you get to keep more of your hard-earned cash. Think about what you could do with that extra money. Maybe save for a vacation, invest in your future, or simply enjoy a little more financial freedom. Think of all the avocado toast and lattes you could buy. Or perhaps you'd prefer to spend it on something more substantial, like paying off debt or upgrading your home. The possibilities are endless when you have more control over your finances. And lastly, Trump argues that tariffs will protect American jobs by making it more expensive to buy foreign goods. This could encourage consumers to buy American-made products, supporting local businesses and industries. This could lead to a resurgence in American manufacturing and a boost to the economy. Sounds pretty good, right? More jobs, a stronger economy, and a renewed sense of national pride in our products. Well, hold your horses, because there's another side to this story. While the upsides are enticing, it's important to consider the potential downsides and challenges that come with these changes. Stay tuned as we dive deeper into the complexities of this plan. Section 5. The downside, higher prices, economic chaos. Now for the bad news, Trump's plan could also be a recipe for economic disaster. First off, tariffs mean higher prices for consumers. Remember those avocado toasts and lattes? Yeah, they're about to get a whole lot more expensive. Everything from cars to clothes to electronics will likely see price hikes as businesses pass on the cost of tariffs to consumers. Second, tariffs could spark a global trade war. Other countries aren't going to just sit back and watch as Trump slaps taxes on their goods. They'll retaliate with tariffs of their own, and pretty soon we'll be in a full-blown trade war. And we all know how well trade wars work out. Spoiler alert, they don't. Section 6. Trade wars. Will our trading partners fight back? Imagine a world where everything is more expensive. Your morning coffee, your new phone, even that trip to Cancun you've been saving up for. That's the reality we could be facing if Trump's tariff plan backfires. Other countries won't stand idly by as their exports to the US plummet. They'll retaliate with tariffs of their own, targeting key American industries like agriculture and manufacturing. This tit-for-tat could escalate into a full-blown trade war, disrupting global supply chains and sending the global economy into a tailspin. Remember the Great Depression? Yeah, nobody wants a repeat of that. Section 7. Can tariffs really fund America? Experts say maybe not. Here's the thing. Even if tariffs work exactly as Trump hopes, there's still a big question mark hanging over the whole thing. Can tariffs really generate enough revenue to fund the US government? Experts say it's highly unlikely. The US government brings in trillions of dollars in revenue each year. Tariffs, even at historically high levels, would likely only generate a fraction of that amount. So, where's all that missing money going to come from? Good question. Nobody seems to have a good answer for that one. Section 8. Congress isn't sold. Will Trump's plan even become law? Here's the other hurdle Trump faces: Congress. Even if he manages to convince the American people that abolishing the IRS and replacing it with tariffs is a good idea, a tall order to be sure, he still needs to get Congress on board, and right now, they're not exactly lining up to kiss the ring. Many lawmakers, even within his own party, have expressed serious concerns about the feasibility and potential economic fallout of Trump's plan. Getting a bill through Congress is like trying to herd cats, even more so when it involves a radical overhaul of the tax system. Section 9. The bottom line: a risky gamble for America's wallet. So, there you have it. Trump's plan to abolish the IRS and replace it with tariffs is a bold gamble, to say the least. It has the potential to simplify the tax code and boost American industries, but it also carries significant risks, including higher prices for consumers, a potential trade war, and a whole lot of economic uncertainty. Only time will tell whether this gamble pays off or blows up in America's face. Buckle up, folks, it's going to be a bumpy ride.